Hello and welcome to another episode on the Hitchhikers SMP, or something similar. We are on the Hitchhikers creative server right now because I want to prototype a project that I've had in mind for a little bit now. Halloween is quickly approaching and I want to make a mini game for it. And what I want to do is make a trick-or-treating mini game. Players will have one full night to collect as much candy as they can from each of the houses in a neighborhood, and each house is going to have its own little obstacles or challenges for the players to face. What we are looking at here is actually the prototype for the house. Now, I don't know how trick-or-treating works in other places, but at least in my family, how we go about doing trick-or-treating is if there are no lights on for the house, then we can't go trick-or-treating there, because it indicates that the people aren't home or that they're not welcoming any trick-or-treaters. So what we have here is we have some pearlescent frog lights inside the windows, and on top of those we actually have some black concrete powder. When this house is deactivated, these pistons will go down and the black concrete powder will be the only thing shown. I'm also using a daylight sensor to detect if it's daytime or nighttime, and right now it is technically nighttime, but to verify that this is working correctly, if we set the time to day, we'll see that it actually turns off the light. So this game can only be ran at night. So how this works is players will run up to the porch, they will ring the doorbell, and the doors will open, a candy will shoot out, and the lights will turn off. Now, the lights turning off is just so that players know that this house is deactivated. They can't keep running up and hitting this doorbell hoping to get more candy. They're going to have to move on to the next house. But that does not mean that the house is going to be deactivated forever. So how this works is when the bell is rung, a calibrated skulk sensor will activate based off of the 11 vibration sequence. And if the house is inactive, then this redstone repeater will be locked. However, if it is active, it will be unlocked and the redstone signal will travel down this line. This line basically is just to open up the door for a period of time. We have a pulse extender here to keep the door open longer, just for a visual indicator. And when this repeater activates, the observer above it will activate this redstone line. This redstone line will basically just drop the candy out of the door, but it will also activate this hopper clock. This hopper clock has 5 stacks of items in it, and when it is done, the redstone block will get pushed back and everything will reactivate for the house. When the timer is going, this redstone line will be activated, which turns off the lights for the house. Likewise, we have a daylight sensor that also turns off the lights for the house. And just like that, our prototype is ready. Alrighty, folks, it has been a few days and I've been brainstorming with Armor Blue and Gort to come up with a couple different puzzles and activities to do for this mini game. So as I mentioned before at the beginning, this game can only run at night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the street blocked off by maybe like a fence gate or something like that. And when nighttime is reached, the gate will open and the player will be able to just run in and get started immediately. We have some basic parkour where you're jumping on some glass panes, which is actually pretty easy, I say as I completely mess it up the first try. And the second try. Can I get it on the third maybe? Nope. Fourth time's the charm, perhaps? There we go. And so we could ring that and the lights turn off, candy comes out, perfect. We can run back. We don't even have to do the parkour to get back over here. And we're going to have 2 redstone puzzles. This one hasn't been worked on yet. This one has, but it's not functional here. Let me show you right over here. Gort worked on this the other day. And basically you stand on this pressure plate and your goal is to get the lights to stop right here. By pressing this button, and we'll hear a note block go off if we got it right. Yep, there we go. And so when you do that, it's going to open up a gate for the player to go through, and then they could ring the doorbell and get their candy, like so. Across the street, we have a piston pushing parkour. So there's these honey blocks, and we have to jump on these walls to get across. And the first part I find pretty easy. The second part is a little bit more challenging because it's coming the opposite direction. However, there is some timing that you can put to work to actually make it across and eventually get this candy as well. We are going to have a find the button mini game where you have to search for the button, press it, and then you can go through and get your candy. If you take too long getting through the gate and it closes before you're actually able to get through, we also have like this little jump over here that you can use. And this is not where the button's going to be. This is just its prototype. Across the street here, we have a crafting challenge that we still haven't worked out just yet. So this actually may be changed at some point. But for now, it is planned to be a crafting challenge. We have a cobblestone wall maze that players will have to get through. And I did throw some soul sand in there to slow players down a little bit. We have a piston button parkour. We have a lot of little parkour mini games here, just because it was easier to set up than some of the other mini game types. Then we have some minecart parkour. Basically, we just have to jump through the minecarts, like so, and just hope that we can actually make it to the end where the houses are, or where this house is. It's a little bit difficult. Armor Blue is really struggling with it, and I'm kind of struggling with it as we speak. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun for players to try out, and I'm really excited to do this. Like, there we go, we're already here. And then wait for this minecart to show up. There we go, we're almost there. Ooh, so close, so close. We're almost there, almost there. Oh, we're close. There we go. Perfect. And to get back, we kind of just do something similar where we have to go through here to get into the minecarts and get the heck out of there. And then we hop in there, boom. And last but certainly not least, we have our pit parkour. Basically, we are in this pit and we have to parkour across these walls and slabs and just pillars to get to the other side. And it is a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be, but it does work. It is possible. It's just going to take a little bit of parkour skill to do, which apparently I do not have right now. But it is possible. Here we go. Nope, I literally almost made it. Now that was pretty quick for me to do. I'm hoping that it will take new players a little bit longer to do. But regardless, whatever happens, players will be able to continue to repeat some of these tasks until the night is up. So even if they can't finish certain ones, they can revisit old houses and get candy again if the time permits it. I am also planning on retexturing some golden carrots to look like candy, maybe using some custom model data. And I'm also going to replace the bundle texture to make it look like it's kind of a Halloween jack-o'-lantern bucket or something like that. And by the end of the night, the players will be able to tally up their score and present it to the rest of the Hitchhikers. So as I mentioned before, we still have one more redstone puzzle to work out, and we do have this crafting challenge puzzle to work out as well. But I believe Gort is going to be helping with both of those. And then Armor Blue is going to be helping with some decorations, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she comes up with. But oh my goodness, am I excited, and you guys should be too. We're definitely going to want to gather up some materials for these. Now, I haven't recorded on the server for a while, but recently we had a little bit of an incident. And it went a little something like this. Whoosh, whoosh. Oh my gosh, guys, there are chickens coming through the portal, and there's nobody online. That's so weird. I wonder where they're coming from. I've got chickens in my portal too, innit? Guys, I just logged on. What's with all the chickens? I think somebody's trying to prank us. I think it's time for an intervention. So we all gathered for the intervention and invited the suspect, who was very unhappy. No, not an intervention. I've already done one of those this week. No, please, no. Gort, we suspect you of foul play. You have been egging us on for days, trying to get us to scramble to find these chickens and these portals. But the yolks must stop, whether you like it or not. Do you deny this, Gort? Nuh-uh. Nope, wasn't me. In fact, it was actually probably one of you guys. Oh, they've brainwashed you good, Gort. Well, at least my brain is clean. We then stood around a while, pointing fingers at each other until Armor Blue finally gave us the evidence required to convict Gort. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Oh, Gort, 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 when will you learn? So now we have chickens all over the nether, all over our bases. It's a mess. And I know a lot of the other hitchhikers already have their retaliation in mind, but I have my own revenge in mind. I like to be a little bit more on the annoying side, so now he'll have to deal with a chicken face on either side of his splat wall for the remaining days, or at least until he removes them, but I doubt he even knows how to do that. We also need to figure out who killed off all the sniffers in the shopping district, because that was quite sad. But we will get there eventually. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell to get notified when I upload a video. If you're not following already, please consider following me on Twitter, Instagram, and supporting me on Patreon. All at CurtisDoesADig. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. Have a good one.